Hey everyone! Welcome back. So today I'm going to be watching the next episode of My Hero Academia. I'm not even going to pretend to try and keep track of the numbers anymore. Just the next episode. So last time we just had this amazing finale to the cavalry battle. See if I can say that. And I loved it. I loved the unpredictability of, Izuku not necessarily coming out on top, because people are kind of starting to, like I was saying last time, I feel like some of the other students are starting to up their game because they know how strategic Izuku is. And so they're kind of responding to that. And we saw that with the whole thing with Todoroki and the headbands and moving around the order and everything. But my new boy, I believe Takoyami, I think he's called. I will confirm that. Sorry if I'm saying it wrong. But the guy with the Raven Quirk, man, he's my boy now. I love him. He managed to sneak in some points there at the end. And so, Izuku still did well, but I feel like we saw just a lot of the other classmates shine in that last episode, and the moment with Ida where he just gives it his all and it just kind of has that little showdown with Izuku was just priceless. So where we ended off in that episode, we got a little glimpse of All Might and Endeavor, who is Todoroki's dad, and they kind of had a little encounter, and I'm like, that makes sense that they used to know each other because they're from the same generation and everything. But now I'm curious to see more about that and see what the story behind their relationship or friendship or whatever, and just more about Endeavor in general, because he's kind of he seems really tough, and I'm like, I want to see more about how that impacts. Obviously has a big impact on Todoroki because they mentioned it a couple times. But speaking of Todoroki, we also had this great moment where he kind of pulls Izuku aside and confronts him about something. We don't know what it is because they cut it off because they're trying to torture me. So I can't wait to see what's happening next. And as far as I know, I think we're still in the middle of these sports games, so there's going to be more contests, I think. So we'll see where everything goes. So without further ado, let's get started on the next episode. Sometimes I forget that we've got a new theme now, and I expect to hear the old one. I love his Shadow Monster so much. He's so cute. Oh. He knows. Oh, he knows. He knows. I suppose that would be the simplest explanation. Is he talking about his son? That's kind of cold. Poor guy. That's terrible. Wow. Oh. Don't back down. That's the way to do it. Look at this kid. Not that long ago, he didn't even have a quirk. And look at him now. He's such a boss. That's awful about Todoroki. Is that why he has that mark on his face? Because his mom poured the hot water? Oh. Of course. We Americans are known for our cheerleaders. And there it is. Oh. Even the invisible girl, really? She's on board. She's going with it. That's not fair. The guys should have to cheer too. Where's their outfits? We had to have a little levity in there, didn't we? Nice. Oh! Of course he gets the one that's always trying to steal his thunder. I feel like that fits, that she'd be kind of into him. Because she's into, like, mechanics and he has the stuff on his legs. Yeah, just like the very bored. Prince of Nonsense! That's one I've never heard. Heck yeah! Look at how much he's done just by like having a good attitude and everything. Ooh. That's not something you want to hear in a hero course. Oh boy. What is going on? Did he just paralyze him? Oh my god. Is it the end already? That can't be right. That's the end of the episode already? Wow. That felt quick. What the heck, though? Just when you overcome one hurdle, there comes another one. I knew there was something wrong with that guy. Alright, so that episode was pretty, I'd say it was intense, but I feel like it was a lot more informational, which is good. So we got a lot more info on what's going on with Todoroki's dad, so Endeavor and All Might. So apparently Endeavor's just kind of been stuck at this like #2 status for throughout like their whole careers together. And man, that was like, that's so messed up about the way that he kind of like almost just bred his son as like an experiment, not an experiment, but like just as a way to get back at All Might, or a way to like one up him. And it's kind of an interesting commentary about the idea of like our, like, it's not even like an arranged marriage though, because it was of his own accord, you know, like, but it's kind of an interesting commentary on some of the politics around, you know, maybe that sort of topic. So I thought that was really cool, but man, that's so messed up. Poor Todoroki. And just the way that like he mentions, it just gets more heartbreaking as he's talking about it, because he mentions, you know, his mom and how his mom would like cry and cry, and I'm like, oh, that's so terrible. She was like forced into marriage and she was upset, but then it's like she was crying because she couldn't even look at his other half and she threw boiling hot water on him. I'm like, oh my god, so messed up. Like, his story just gets more tragic as he keeps telling it. But I gotta say, he's pretty friggin' cool. Like, I'm enjoying watching him, and you know, I feel like we've gotten to know him a little bit more and see more of him to where I can kind of point it to him and be like, oh, that's the guy that, you know, blah, 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 you know. Whereas he was very mysterious the last few times that we saw him. So I'm getting to know him a little bit better, and I think he's cool. But, you know, this is another challenge for Izuku now. You know, it's really tough because, like, in the last couple episodes, I've had to see Ida go up against Izuku a little bit, which is hard because I'm rooting for Ida all the time. And now that I'm starting to like Todoroki a little bit more, it's tough because, like, as cool as he is, you don't want to see Izuku lose. So that should be interesting, but... so we had some fun stuff in there, just like some funny stuff, and then so we got to see more about Todoroki and his dad, and we got to have this funny moment between Todoroki and Izuku where he's like, are you All Might's secret love child? I'm like, actually, when you think about it though, like, wouldn't that be like a much more simple explanation than what really happened? So it makes sense that his brain would go there. So we have the next part of the sports event now, which is kind of a more of a one-on-one sort of showdown, and then they move their way up through the ranks. Almost kind of reminds me a little bit of the way that they did the Naruto exams. Again, anytime you get close to something resembling a Naruto exam, I feel like one should panic because those tend to be a little bit intense. So, you know, they hadn't said too much about, I think his name is Shinzo, right up until we got to hear a little bit more about him in this episode. And I knew, like, as soon as they started talking about him that, like, something was off with him, like, something was wrong. Like, do not take this guy lightly. And sure enough, here we are, and they just started fighting, and Izuku's paralyzed. So this is going to be just a fine kettle of fish for Izuku to get through. But you know what? I can't wait to see how he gets out of it. Like, I know something's going to go down. Like, he'll get out of it or something will happen. And I can't wait to see what happens next. So thank you so much for joining me. Again, it's good to be back, and I will see you guys for the next episode. Bye!